Term 5, Lesson 12, Perimeter, Part 2. Okay, you'll remember task, find the perimeters of each of these rectangles. Just remember this side is the same as this side because they're parallel lines. This side is the same as this side because they're parallel lines. So you can do this side, add this side, and then double it because you've got exactly the same to add. Okay, press pause on the video, do the questions, and then press play and I'll show the answers. Okay, let's just check out the answers. Okay, we can go through these very quickly. A, you've got 6 add 20 times 2 is 52. Next one, 7 add 17 times 2 will be 48. 36 times 19 times 2 is 110 millimeters, or if you wanted to divide by 10, remember they move to the right one place if you're dividing by 10, it's the equivalent of 11 centimeters. D is 1.8 meters, add 1.5 meters, times your answer by 2, you will get 6.6 meters. 105 meters, add 75 meters, then double it, times it by 2 because you've got the same this side. You'll have 360 meters. Now, question F is a little bit sneaky because, oops, let's go back to that. We've got 9 centimeters, add 6 millimeters. So you've got to convert to one or the other. Convert this to millimeters. You will have 90 because you're going to multiply by 10. Okay, so that 9 will move over one place and you'll fill up the gap with a 0. So you've got 90 millimeters, add 6 millimeters and double it, you will have 192 millimeters. If you wanted to then divide by 10, you would have 19.2 centimeters. Okay, make any corrections you need to by pressing pause and then press play when you want to carry on. Okay, problem solving. A rectangle measuring 6 centimeters by 5 centimeters has a smaller rectangle measuring 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters cut out of one corner. Show that the remaining piece has the same perimeter as the original rectangle. Okay, so we're going to draw a diagram of the shape. Now, can you remember when you're drawing shapes, please use a ruler and one sharp pencil so you get a nice crisp line. Okay, so here's my rectangle. The original size was 6 centimeters by 5 centimeters. A smaller rectangle measuring 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters cut out one corner. Right, okay, let's just find the perimeter of this first shape. Okay, we've got 6 add 5 times 2 would be 22 centimeters. Now here's our second rectangle, but this time we've got a 3 centimeter by 2 centimeter cut out of the corner. Okay, so let's just mark that on, 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So if this is 3 centimeters and the whole distance is 6, 6 take away that 3 will tell you this part is 3, that part is 3. So 3 add 3 does make 6 the whole length. And the same for this side. We've got 5 centimeters is the whole distance. We know that this part is 2 centimeters, so we've got to find that part. So 5 take away 2 is 3. Okay, so we found our missing side. So now this right shape is 3, 2, 3, 3, 6, 5. Okay, so if we add all those up, we get 22 centimeters. Okay, so we've proved that it is actually the same. If you think about it, if that line just slipped out to there And if that line just slipped up to there, we would have the same shape as our original rectangle. So, a question for you to try. Jenny calls one side of this rectangle X. She knows the other side of the rectangle is 2 centimetres more than X. Copy Jenny's rectangle and label all the sides. Work out the perimeter, giving your answer as something X plus something centimetres. Okay, remember, use a ruler, draw this rectangle, and just mark on what the sides are. So, in your question, you were told that we've got X, and that's shown, but the other side is 2 centimetres more than X. So we can write that as X plus 2. Now, because we know this side is X plus 2, we also know that this side is X plus 2. And because we were already told this side is X, we know that side is X also. Okay, so we've got all our sides. Now let's see if we can answer part B by working out the perimeter. So I'm just showing where I'm going to start. So I'm going to do X plus 2 plus X plus X plus 2 plus X. Comes to X plus 2 plus X plus X plus 2 plus X. So now we can simplify this. Let's look how many X's we've got. Okay, so if we count these up, now remember we're looking at the sign in front of the figure we're looking at to tell us whether it's positive or negative. At the moment, I think we're all going to stay positive until we get used to these. So we've got 1X here, 2 X's, 3 X's, we've got 4 X's altogether. Okay, now let's look at our numbers. So we've got plus 2, or 2 add 2 is 4. So we can put add 4. And that's our answer. And it's centimetres. Okay, 4x plus 4 centimetres is equal to the perimeter. Okay, so can you have a go at these on your own? Remember, just work logically around each shape. Remember where you start, just like we did for the previous example back here. Show where you're starting, and then just go around the shape. We're adding every length. Okay, so press pause on the video, do these 4 questions, use a ruler to draw your shapes, and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, let's look at 12A. This is 6y, so we know that's 6y. This is 2x, so we know that's 2x. You can put those on your diagram if you so wish. Right, so there's my starting point. So I'm going to have 6y, add 2x, add 6y, add 2x. Okay, now we normally do these alphabetically. Ooh, where's it gone? Let's come back again, maybe. Here it comes. And we normally work these out alphabetically when we've got these unknown quantities. So x comes before y, so I'm going to look at x's first. So I've got plus 2x and I've got plus 2x. So 2x, add 2x, I've got 4x's. Now I'm going to look at my y's. I've got 6y, and it's a positive 6y at the beginning here because there's not a negative there, so we know it's positive. So we've got 6y, add another 6y, so altogether we have 12y. So B, our starting point. So going round here, we're going to have 7y, add 3x, add 5y, add x. Okay, so we've got all the way around. Again, I'm going to do it alphabetically. So I'm going to look at my x's first. I've got 3x, add x. So that's 4x's altogether. Now I'm going to look at my y's. I've got 7y's, add 5y's. So altogether I have 12y. Question C. There's my start point. So if I go around my shape, I've got x plus y, add x plus 9y, add 2x plus 2y. It comes x plus y, x plus 9y, plus 2x plus 2y. Again, we're going to look at the x's first. We've got an x there, and 2 x's there. So all together, I've got 2, add 1 is 3, add 1 is 4. So I've got 4 x's. Now I'm going to look at my y's. I've got 1y plus 9y is 10y's, plus another 2 is 12y. I'm going to look at D. There's my start point. So if I go around my shape, always go in the same direction, you get into the habit and then you know what you're doing each time you do it. I've got 9y, add 3x plus y, add 3x plus y. Okay, so 9y plus 3x plus y plus 3x plus y. Again, I'm going to look at my x's first. So I've got 3x, add another 3x. So I've got 6x altogether. I'm going to look at my y's. I've got 9y, add y is 10y, add another y is 12y. Sorry, 9, 10, 11y. I've got 11 y's. Right, okay, we've answered all the questions, but what have we got to do? Which is the odd one out? Okay, so we've got 4x plus 12y, 4x plus 12y, 4x plus 12y, 6x plus 11y. So this one is going to be our odd shape out, which is shape D. So our answer, shape D, is the odd one out, as its perimeter is 6x plus 11y, and all the other shapes have a perimeter of 4x plus 12y. Always go back, check what the actual question's asking you to do. It wasn't just to find the perimeters of the shapes, it was to find the odd one out. Okay, a regular hexagon has a perimeter of 4 centimetres. What is the side length of the hexagon? So we've got the length of the perimeter, which is 42. You have to know that the hexagon has 6 sides. Remember, hex is 6. So we do the perimeter, divide by the number of sides, and that will tell us the length of one side. So previously, when we were looking at this, we were given one side of a shape, of a regular shape, and we had to find the perimeter. So we multiplied the length of that one side by the number of sides to find the perimeter. So for example, one side of a hexagon is 7 centimetres. So the perimeter equals 7 centimetres times 6, because it's a hexagon, 6 sides. So 7 centimetres times 6 is 42 centimetres. But the question above, we're now going to look at, we're given the answer, if you like. So we're given the perimeter, and we've got to find what one side is. So to find that one length, we have to divide by the number of sides. So if we've got a hexagon that's 42 centimetres for its perimeter, to find the length of one side, we do 42, which is the perimeter, divide by 6, the number of sides on a hexagon, and that will give us 7. 7 is the length of one side of a regular hexagon. Okay, so copy this table onto your paper and see if you can find the lengths of one side for these 4 questions, and it's exactly the same process to find the number of sides. We've been given the perimeter, so we have to divide by either the number of sides or the length of one side to give us the other side. Press pause on the video. If you want to draw the shapes, do so, but it's not necessary. Just copy the table and see if you can fill in the gaps. Press pause and press play when you finish doing it. Okay, let's have a look at the answers. So our perimeter is 24 and we've got 3 sides. So 24 divided by 3 gives us 8. That's the length of one side. The perimeter is the same for all of them. So the next one, we've got 24 divided by 4, which gives us 6 centimetres for one side. This time we're looking for the number of sides. We know the length, but it's still going to be, our perimeter is 24, divide by the length of one side, will tell you that we've got 6 sides. Next one, 24 divided by 8, gives us 3. So 3 centimetres is the length of one side. But 24 divided by 2, which is 12. So we know that has 12 sides, that shape. Here we've got the number of sides is 24. So the perimeter is 24, divide by 24. So we know that each side is 1 centimetre long. Okay, have a go at doing this one on your own. 2 different shapes there. You've got to work out how many sides a hexagon's got. We've just been talking about hexagon. And then you've also got to try and remember how many sides an octagon has. Okay? Press pause on the video. Press play when you've completed these. Right, okay, a regular hexagon has a perimeter of 32.4 centimetres. What is the length of each side? So we've got 32.4. We need to divide by the number of sides. A hexagon has 6 sides. So we're going to do 32.4 divided by 6. Okay, it's not going to work out totally evenly. We've got a decimal involved here. So I'm going to do it over here. So we've got 32.4 divide by 6. So 6 into 3 doesn't go at all. Oh, remember to line up your decimal. Adding, subtracting and dividing. Must line up your decimal first. So 6 into 3 doesn't go, so we attach that to the 2 next door. 6 into 32 goes 5 times, and there's a remainder of 2, so attach that to the next digit along. 6 into 24 goes 4 times. So our answer is 5.4 centimetres. Part B. An octagon has a perimeter of 73.6, so we can do 73.6 divide by, an octagon has 8 sides, oct, 8. Okay, again, it's got a decimal involved, so I'm going to do it out here. So I've got 73.6, divide by 8, line up your decimal. 8 into 7 doesn't go, so we attach it to the 3 next door. 8 into 73 goes 9 times. There's a remainder of 1. 8 into 16 goes 2. So our answer is 9.2 centimetres. Okay, so finally a challenge. On a piece of centimetre squared paper, shade in a shape made of 8 squares. So they're giving you 2 examples here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. And here's a different way of doing 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first rule, your shape must be made with whole squares. So you can't cut one in half and start doing fancy triangles that make up 8 squares. Rule number 2, all the squares must touch side by side, not corner to corner. So here we've got touching on sides here. This is corner to corner, that's not allowed. They've got to touch sides to sides. Okay? Work out the perimeter of your shape in centimetres. So remember your start point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That shape's got 12 centimetres for a perimeter. This one, my start point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this shape has a perimeter of 14 centimetres. Try other shapes made from 8 squares and work out the perimeter of each of them. So you're going to have several drawings. Use a ruler, try and keep it neat. And then you need to try and draw a shape. Oh dear, let's go back. Draw a shape made from 8 squares that has the smallest possible perimeter that you can find. So from all these that you've drawn here in part C, perhaps you might have one that's got the least number of squares going round, so your perimeter is the smallest number. And then from those drawings, have a look and see if you've got the largest possible, or can you work out how to make a shape with the largest possible perimeter with 8 squares shaded. Okay, press pause on the video, have a good go at this. It could take you a little while to do these drawings, and then you can just press play and I will reveal what is the largest and the smallest perimeters that you could have. Okay, so here you've done all your own drawings here. So for 8 squares arranged, if you had something like 2 times 4 with your rectangle, your perimeter would be 12, which was a little bit like the first example. Well, in fact, it was exactly like the first example, 4 by 2 rectangle. Or you could have had a square and has perimeter 12. Any shape that fits into a 3 by 3 square has a perimeter of 12. Okay, so 12 is the smallest perimeter that you could have. For the largest, if you had just a long, thin line of 8 squares along, just 1 square deep, so it's just a long, thin line of squares, your rectangle would actually have a perimeter of 18. So if you think, you would have 8 going along the top, so you'd have 8 going along the bottom. 8 and 8 is 16. Add the 1 at each end, 17, 18. So that would be your biggest perimeter. That is the end of this week's lesson. I'll thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.